more people from the Pacific time zone, so really great to see you here. Um, so it is an exciting day. Well, let me share my screen, and we tested everyone except for myself. So here it is. Um, Exciting day today. So it's the Wise Move Society Global Roundtable, and it is actually the third year that we are doing this, and for 3 years, for 2 years already, very successful and with a great outcome. So really excited to do this year again. The theme: let our collective wisdom contribute to global change, and that really comes from my heart. That I do think that we need global change as well as we need change at all levels of society. And I really do believe that our collective wisdom can contribute to that change. And it can be, the wise older generation, but absolutely also in that intergenerational collaboration. So that is also really excited that we have the younger generation here today. So where are we going to start? Because we're going to stick to the schedule. Storytelling at the watering hole. It's a perfect place and best way to share our wisdom. And storytelling at the watering hole. Last year we had Bev already, who shared her story about the matriarch at the watering hole, and that is we were so excited about it, and it kept coming back doing all the conversation. So that is why we really wanted to hear her story again to start with. And the same with Mommy Von, as well. I think the best storyteller there is. So really excited to have that here the first hour. So as far as well, but this is me. As far as I'm concerned, really, really welcome people from all over the world. And I really love having you here. And I really, really invite you to join the conversations in between all the speakers that we will have. The speakers will, inspire you. They will open your mind. They will, it will be food for thought. But what is as important is the breaks in between, the breakout rooms where you can share your story. So we are going to our first speaker, and that is Bev Hancock. And I think you just mentioned in the chat box that you are from South Africa, uh, partly living in South Africa, partly in London, so you get the best of both worlds. Conversational catalyst and leadership strategist brings the ancient wisdom of the African elephant matriarch and the spirit of Ubuntu to life through storytelling. Bev invites leaders to reimagine their influence through collective wisdom, trusted based leadership, and deeper human connection to shape a future that serves both ourselves and the generations that follow. Those who do speak, I know you're restricted to 5 to 7 minutes. Bev has a little bit more time because we really think this is an important topic for the rest of the roundtable. So, Bev, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Ingen. Let me share my slides and make sure that sound is optimized and video. There we go. All right. Okay. It's lovely once again to be with you, Ingen, for this global roundtable, and really to reconnect with the wisdom. So last year we kind of gave an overview of elephants, and we ended up at the watering hole. But today I'd like to gently stay at the watering hole and really just to get to know our matriarch a little better. And when we decided the topic of this, we decided I am because she leads. And for those of you who know Africa and the concept of Ubuntu, that says I am because we are. And it is just such a profound concept. And to me, the elephant matriarch just brings that to life. However, having said that, let's not get stuck in human gender stereotypes. Although she personifies feminine leadership, it is the feminine in all of us. And her role is to lead the herd. Her male counterpart is to propagate the species. So let's really center in terms of where she is and what she does really well. She's an amazing leader. She doesn't carry a title. If she was in the world of work, she wouldn't have the corner office. She leads because of her age and her gender. She has taken on this role because destiny and history has given her this role because she is the oldest female in the tribe, but she brings such a richness to her leadership. So today, what I'd really like us to do is to let's reimagine, as we are in the over 50s place of our life, what does leadership really look like in the next phase of our lives? And what can we learn from her as we stand with her around the watering hole today so that we lead with wisdom, courage, impact, and connection? The reason why Ingun gave me a little bit of extra time today is because I want to share a really powerful practice with you. So I'm going to ask you to take 7 minutes to listen. It's only voice, so you don't have to worry about watching the video. It's going to be a voice practice that is going to allow us to look to the past and to look to the future. So as we're doing this, please just follow the instructions. You can stand if you want to, and just really allow yourself to connect with this very, very powerful process called the ancestral process. All right. If you feel more comfortable switching off your camera at this point, you can. Otherwise, please feel free to leave it on.
Now let your body sway a little bit back and forth and move with the sound of the music. And as you do that and relax your body, with your eyes closed, I'd like you to see the faces of your father and your mother standing in front of you, looking at you. Your father and mother, or the people who raised you. And now see their fathers and mothers standing behind each of them, also looking at you. And now see their fathers and mothers standing behind them, looking at you. And imagine behind them a line of your ancestors, your lineage, going back through generation to generation to generation to the many men and women of your bloodline. Feel the connection between this lineage, like a river flowing through each of them to you. You carry their genes. You fulfill their dreams. You are the fulfillment of what they hoped for, of what they lived for, of what they died for. You are the current blossom on the tree of this lineage, like a wave in a long river of humanity, going back through time. There's a great power that comes from connecting to this lineage. Their blood flows through our veins. We stand on their shoulders. Each generation did the best they could under the circumstances they were given. Feel the connection. Feel the stream of their humanity flowing through to you. And begin to sway again, almost like a dance that becomes the expression of this harvest, this power that belongs to you at this time in history. Imagine your ancestors are aware of your presence looking at them right here today, as if they could feel you looking back at them. Listen to their voices, hear their wisdom, and their guidance to you today. Receive their presence, their words, their apologies, their forgiveness, their encouragement, and their power. And now silently speak to your ancestors, whatever's in your heart. Talk to them of your gratitude, of your hopes, of your commitments, of your struggles, of the privilege it is to be alive right now. And bow to the great lineage that you come from. And now, without opening your eyes, turn 180 degrees around and face the west, toward the future. Once again, let your body sway and move if you feel comfortable doing that. And now imagine the faces of your children, if you have them, if you have raised them, or your future children, if you don't have any yet. Or simply the faces of children that you love or care for. See them looking at you, looking up at you with respect, with love, with gratitude. Now imagine that you can see their children standing behind them, looking at you, and their children's children standing behind them, looking at you, like a line of the generations to come, the daughters and sons of life's longing for itself. They are a manifestation of your love. They are the recipients of your energy, your contributions, your wisdom, your actions, your accomplishments, your legacy. See them now spreading out into an unknown, unborn, uncertain future. They're looking back at you, and for a moment, they feel your presence like a whisper in their heart. They feel you here, looking at them, looking back at you, just as you turned towards your ancestors a few moments ago, so they turn towards you. Feel your presence. And know that their future depends on what you do or fail to do. In this moment, hear their words to you. What do future generations have to say to you? What is their wisdom? What is their guidance? What are their hopes for your life? And now, quietly in your own way, speak to coming generations of your commitment, of the legacy you leave, the gift you give, the responsibility you hold, the privilege of living life at this time. Open your eyes and take your seats.
In that profoundly beautiful, quiet space, take this time into the conversations that we have going forward. The matriarch's leadership holds the past, the present, and the future in such a beautiful space. Her memory is a roadmap for the generations coming before us. And we're reminded that as we step into this place of leadership, in our role in our lives at the moment, that it's about depth. It's not about us getting less, it's about us getting deeper. that we are stepping into a place that we can be more reflective, less reactionary, that we can make more conscious choices in how we lead. It's also a place of mature leadership. It's a place where we can grasp everything that we have. So the question I want to leave you with here is, what patterns from your past can you pull forward that you can lead us and those who you lead into the future? The next thing that is so symbolic of her leadership is that she combines both strength and caring. Too often we associate feminine leadership with being caring and nurturing, but we forget that a mother will if she feels like her young are being threatened, she is fierce. She will protect, she will be angry, she will do whatever is required. But a really great leader is wise, steady, and inclusive. The question we need to ask is, how do we balance the strength and caring? When do we need to step forward with care? When do we need to step forward with courage in a world at the moment that I think desperately needs to have these conversations? And then lastly, we look at legacy and contribution. I'm reminded of that lovely African proverb that says, the hand that rocks the cradle is the hand that rules the world. We, as leaders, have a massive responsibility. We have been given the task of raising future leaders. When the matriarch steps into leadership, from the first day, she takes on the responsibility of raising the next generation of leaders. Every conversation, every moment, every opportunity is about raising up her fellow sisters who are going to be leaders, preparing the young males to go out and grasp their destiny, and to make sure that her family is as secure and safe and sustainable as possible. So as we go forward into our global conversations today, we're going to be talking about the generational story. We're going to be talking about the generational wisdom and the elephant in the room. So the final challenge I'd like to leave with you is, what is the leadership legacy that you want to leave? Because it's the leadership that you practice today around the watering hole and on the journey that will make all of the difference. Our time today is going to strengthen us for that journey. Remember that as leaders who are mature, who are older, we hold memory, we hold meaning, we hold those intergenerational conversations, and most importantly, we have a responsibility to mentor those so that we can create a better world for our children. Thank you very much.
I'm sorry, I have to find the unmute button. Thank you so much, Bev, and that's, yes, those 7 minutes quiet time, made us so aware of our ancestors and those on whose shoulders we stand. But even more, at least that is for me, is very important, is the next generations, those who come after us, and what are we leaving them? What is the legacy? And what can we do today? It is about the choice of doing those things today. And that is actually exactly what this roundtable is about. So thank you so much. I know you have to leave because there's a huge event coming up that you have to prepare. So thank you so much. I hope you can stay a little bit longer, but just if not, we will talk soon. Thank you, my dear.
Thank you.
So the next speaker is also talking about something that is important in What are we leaving people, and how do we mentor? What do we mentor? What do we talk about? All these things that um, we have already seen, we have done, but how can we share that with the next generation? So the importance of sharing our stories, and we don't do that enough. And Mom Yvonne, over the past 6, 7 years, absolutely has learned me a lot about sharing those stories. So, Mom Yvonne Busisiwe Game from South Africa, teacher, inspirational speaker, mentor, author, several books, member of the Female Wave of Change Circle of Wisdom. And I love this statement that she sent me. I believe in the power of stories as a divine gift, a universal right, and a heritage passed down from generation to generation. So let me start with one. So, Mom Yvonne, we love to hear your story.
Wow. Thank you so much, Ingen. Bev, you laid the foundation. I am because you are. Unless you are, I cannot be. A warm welcome to each and every one. Let's journey together. It's important to know your story, to tell your story. Don't die with your story, to share your story with others so they can change. And most importantly, own your story. We all have a story to tell. Stories have to be told, or they die. And when they die, we can't remember who we are and why we are here and where we are going. So, what's your story? Mom Yvonne chose the magical journeys because we all have a story to tell, and they start from birth. Even before that, whilst you are incubated, some of the stories emerge from when we are conceived until our last day. We have the story to tell. Stories heal. If you're burning inside your heart with something that needs to be told, it might heal you if you do so. Stories heals. Stories reveal things that you have never known about. Stories bring change in our lives, in our minds, in how we think, how we feel, how we breathe, and even how we live. And what I love is that stories can affirm what you already know. And my question to you today is, are there any stories or a particular story that was told to you when you were young? Who told you that story? Why was the story told to you? Do you remember that? What impact did that story have on your own view of the world today? And what did it take you to? How does it feel to be where you are because of the stories that you experienced in your life, because of the stories that you were born with, because of the stories that you shared? Mom Yvonne can shortly say that I chose the topic magical journeys because my journeys are magical and there are many. From birth, I was prayed for and named Busisiwe because my parents lost 4 girls. And I learned as a baby the power of prayer because today I'm here and death in my family stopped. From childhood, I had parents who had faith, who believed in me. At the age of 14, I was on a train for 10 hours going to a boarding school where my parents have never been. But they had faith and hope that if we take this girl to the Catholic school, she'll be safe on that train. We've never been on that school ourselves. We've never written any story, but we have told stories, and we believe all is gonna be all right. And yes, all is all right. 45 years later, That's when I started at that particular school. I can tell a story, magical story, my life as a student, about my career, Yvonne as a mother, Yvonne as a soul, as a sister, Yvonne as a teacher, Yvonne as a citizen, Yvonne as a human being. So you all have those stories. What is important is to own them and tell them. Life stories transport listeners to new worlds. So let's embark together on this magical journey. It is my privilege. I'm grateful and blessed to have grown up in a culture where the elderly use stories to interact and engage with the younger generation. There were no books, there was no TV, and there was no radio, but in the campfire, the elderly used to sit and tell us the story. Even the stories of safety, of danger. I still have the echo of my own gogo who died over maybe 6 years ago. Unamanga, uthe lapha, sikhulumi. Wathi ki. Why? Well, there was no copyright during our time, so I would also go, Unamanga, uthe lapha, sikhulumi. Wathi ki. Why? That's what's in our DNA. That's what shaped who we are. That's what informs how we act, how we see the world, how we behave, our attitude and beliefs. So, stories were told in oral tradition, and what was important was the co-creation and co-ownership. These stories highlighted important life lessons. That's where our values were grounded and experiences, helping young people understand their roots and cultural identity. I'm so glad that we have our young ones today. They often evolve around significant historical events, such as migrations, wars, or social changes, and folk tales, providing valuable context and insights. The elderly generation has an important role to pass on practical life lessons, helping young people navigate their own life. Most of the things that we're doing today, they come from the wisdom of the elderly. And as I've said, that during Mum's Yvonne time, they were told orally. So equally, young people also share. You also have, as a young person, a story to share that can help the older generation unlearn what no longer serves us and relearn ancient wisdom that transcends time. There is also great opportunity to learn new ways of living from the younger generation because adaptation is key. So the young ones who are here today, you have a story to tell, and we all want to hear that story. There's also that great opportunity for the elders to share their emotional wisdom gained from life experiences such as heartbreak, loss, and major life transitions, teaching young people about resilience, coping strategies, and relationships. That is so important because imagine if you knew everything and you had an answer about everything. Thank God we don't have to, because there are stories to reflect to. And there are many ways that we can get to those stories. Storytelling is deeply connected to older generations and is often the guardian of memory, the guardian of wisdom and traditions. Their stories serve as a bridge between past and present and the future. In today's modern world, we have artists who tell us stories, singers, rappers, poets, and comedians can at times be storytellers. Storytelling taught Mom Yvonne the art of these three aspects: harnessing my inner power, uncovering hidden strength, and of course, confronting fears as well as gaining self-awareness and confidence and purpose. I experienced a real therapeutic benefit for my mental stimulation, memory, and emotional well-being. I also felt valued and connected to my community. I have experienced my life-changing magical journeys, and my key learning stemmed from my courage to face a life-threatening disease. 18 years ago, Mami Yvonne had this double stroke, which was prompted by a tumor, and I was diagnosed a terminal, and it was a real scary moment. But this experience unveiled my hidden potential and revealed my untapped abilities. And that is why I am here with you today to inspire you, to empower you, to tell you you are not your pain, you are not your injury, you are not your fear. You are light, you are greatness, and there's power within you. Just unleash that story, find it. In the midst of chaos and crisis, Marcel Proust's words resonate deeply with Mom Yvonne. The real voyage of discovery consists not in seeking new landscapes, but in having new eyes. It is in these moments of upheaval that we have the opportunity to see the world with fresh perspective and embrace the possibilities of change. I went through that journey. You can go through that journey, and you've been through many journeys as well. So all you can do is to share. And because we've got young people here today, Ingen, it's not gonna be okay if I don't end up with this little poem as I close. Lend me your ear. My father, my mother, I might not know how to say it in the way that you want me to, but I want to talk to you about life. I worry about my identity and my place in the world. I want to be my person, but you insist that I should follow your rules and statutes. Mother, father, lend me your ear. Share your time with me. I promise you, if you listened carefully to what I want to say, if you tried to understand the emotions behind my hysteria, I know you could help me. Allow me the space to make my own mistakes and judge me not when I come crashing at your feet. I need your guidance, not law enforcement. I need your wisdom, not an affirmation of my shortcomings. Mother, father, lend me your ear. Share your time with me, my daughter, my son. Hear me and hear me well. I cannot stand and watch you make the same mistakes I've made. I want you to do far better than me. I want you to understand that life is no one's friend. I tell you from experience. I teach you from what I have learned. My daughter, my son, hear me and hear me well. These are life principles that will never change. Respect life, respect yourself, respect authority. I wish I could tell you something different, but I can't because this is all I have learned. There is time for everything. Use your time wisely. That's one thing you can never get back. My daughter, my son, pay attention. Life is no one's friend. I love you, love and light, and I wish you positive change and a brighter future. Thank you.
Wow. If you, I hope you see all the hearts going over the screen and people really loving your story, Mom Yvonne. It's, you know, I love this the way that you do this, and that is also why I made you part of this this first. You know, sharing those stories is so important, and we don't do it enough. But on the other hand, you know, when I hear Mom Yvonne share her story and doing this, you know, it's no way that I can do it this way. You know, it's this is so Mummy Von, and I do think that I always feel a little bit that those on the African continent have this, it's much more in your DNA. Do it this way than we very practical and, you know, very down to earth people on this side of the world. So thank you again very much, Mummy Von, because you have absolutely contributed to the success of this round table.